Squid Game is full of strong candidates seeking to win the ultimate prize and live the rest of their lives in financial comfort. From hardened gangsters and ex-soldiers to businessmen and migrant workers, we're about to break down the best players who took part in the games and figure out who has the ultimate skill set for survival. So let's get into it, setting the scene. So before we get into the rankings themselves, we need to properly analyze the layout and progression of the games. The arena rolls out 6 childhood games across 6 cruel days of blood-soaked competition in order to earn a 45.6 billion won prize. But the real scorekeeping happens in the form of body bags. That very first round of red light, green light wipes out more than half the players in just a few minutes, teaching everyone left standing that panicking without calming your nerves will get you nowhere. By midway into the first season, we're watching tug-of-war teams face off dozens of feet above the ground, where gravity, instead of a referee, makes the final call on who wins and who dies. Then, a later episode brings us glass stepping stones with groups of panels hanging over another deadly drop, where even taking too long to decide becomes fatal and kills everyone on the bridge. Season 2 cranks up the nightmare fuel by adding even harsher games. The 6-legged pentathlon chains 5 mini-games together: dakji flips, gongi bounces, keep-ups, spinning tops, and marble rolls, forcing players to rush through them all while literally shackled together at the ankles. A single player dropping pace or failing their task leads to everybody getting wiped out. After that comes Mingle, trapping 120 players in a maze of numbered rooms where they need perfect math and organization skills under a strict countdown. Get the wrong room capacity, and the writing is on the walls. You're dead. When our boy Gihan boards that return bus on December 26, 2024, his real prize isn't the cash hanging above the dorm. It's the chance to take down this whole brutal operation from the inside and save countless people from suffering like he and thousands of others had before him. How the ranking works. Our ranking system stands on 3 strong pillars. First comes the survival record, where making it through multiple rounds implies you've got some level of staying power for the long term. Next is versatility, the ability to switch from physical showdowns like tug-of-war to mental challenges like marbles without missing a beat and performing just as well. Finally, there's influence. Can you manipulate other contestants or guards through fear, charm, or strategic leadership? This list ignores how much fans love or hate a character. Moral goodness only matters when it actually changes game outcomes and can cause life or death to result. Bottom tier. Han Minyo starts off our list at 10th place. This one wields her personality like a Swiss Army knife, flipping between flirtation, begging, and straight-up threats depending on what works on the people around her. On the first night in the dorms, she latches onto Jang Deoksu's gang, trading a cigarette and even her body for protection. Although it works for a while, she eventually gets thrown aside for the tug-of-war challenge due to her lack of strength. Stuck near the back of the glass bridge game later on, she gets her revenge by hugging Deoksu and throwing both of them into the abyss, a tragic form of payback that evens the score for her abandonment, but puts a hard cap on how high she could rank. 9th place belongs to Deoksu himself. His resume consists of muscle, intimidation, and street fighting reflexes, all of which are perfect for the lights-out riot that eliminates quite a few competitors between rounds. During tug-of-war, his gang steamrolls a weaker team in a matter of seconds, but once the games require thinking ahead, like with the glass stepping stones, fear freezes him solid. He refuses to move forward, just barks orders, and learns too late that intimidation fails when nobody feels like listening anymore. A mistake he paid the ultimate price for. Middle tier. Ali Abdul ranks 8th, the first player in our middle tier. During red light, green light, he snatches Gihan out of a fatal stumble with just one hand, practically curling a full-grown man while under the stress of possible sniper fire. Unfortunately, his kindness and gentle soul turned to blind trust during the marble game, where he lets Sang-woo tie his marbles in a cloth pouch, only to discover after the timer runs out that the bag contains nothing but pebbles. That betrayal ends the run of Squid Game's purest heart. 7th place goes to Hwang In-ho, the front daddy himself, who disguises himself as a rookie in Season 2 to monitor Gihan's sabotage plan. Having insider knowledge lets him predict the order of events and breeze through the simplest games, but his arrogance costs him allies. It's hard to give him a genuine ranking because of his cheats, but considering how he struggled despite his secret powers, he doesn't get all that high up on the list as a player. As the frontman, however, he would definitely have greater power. Core players. Our 6th spot belongs to Cho Hyun-ju, a former Special Forces sergeant. At the pentathlon starting line, she organizes things for her group, preventing complications with their bindings and pushing them to a top-level finish. She also makes big contributions in the revolt, teaching the other members how to use the weapons they grab. Her only major mistake is trust, much like Ali. Although it hasn't led to her death just yet, she seems to cling to people and want the best for them, a trait which can be manipulated to deadly effect in these messed up games. 5th is Park Jung-bae, player 390. This former baseball player turned Marine is a big player when it comes to team morale. His charisma and genuine persona shine through and keep Gihan's alliance strong, leading up to the revolt. The downside of that natural power becomes clear during the dorm uprising. The big daddy frontman executes him center stage to break everyone's spirit, and that shockwave kills more hope than bullets ever could. If it wasn't for the tragic turn of events, it's possible he could be further, but top 5 is a great spot. Top 4. 4th place belongs to Kang Se-byuk. Growing up in the northernmost province of North Korea gave her a deep set of skills. She slips through a kitchen vent on the first night to spy on the sugar honeycomb process, then selects the safest choice, the triangle, beating the timer with minutes to spare. Exploding glass from the stepping stones game leaves her with a gut wound that Sang-woo later exploits, but she still warns Gihan about Sang-woo's knife before dying, showing deep composure to her last breath. She's a very solid mix of brains, strength, and skill, giving her a strong place near the top of our list. Bronze goes to Shang Gihan, our boy player 456. Desperation sharpens his skills in a way he never could have seen coming, maxing out the luck and charisma stats. He discovers by complete accident that saliva dissolves honeycomb sugar faster than the needle and finishes with seconds left on the clock as a result. In Tug of War, he manages to bag himself a solid team, balancing Il-nam's heel anchor experience with Sang-woo's brains, causing a surprise forward lunge, flipping momentum, and yanking their enemy team into the fatal drop. But G-Money's real superpower is influencing others, able to form an underground rebellion movement with a handful of strong players who want to do the right thing. What keeps him from the top spot is his tendency to let emotions cloud his judgment at critical moments, even after he has the experience from Season 1 to teach him better. Runner-up, Oh Il-nam Player 001 takes second place. I know this might be a surprise, but hear me out. Terminal brain cancer speeds up his timeline, but can't dull his mind. He runs Tug of War like a military operation with 3 steps forward to create slack, a low center of gravity stance, giving his team the ability to stay in the game long enough for Sang-woo's winning strategy. His Riot Night theatrics, lying on a bunk bed and pleading for calm, frees half the killers mid-attack, using their pity to survive. In Marbles, he pretends to have dementia only until Gi-hun exploits it, then reveals his perfect memory, forcing our protagonist to face his actions for the rest of the game. After the finale, he unmasks himself as the mastermind who founded the Squid Game back in 1988. Age, not talent, keeps him from the championship spot, as well as the fact that despite all his knowledge, he had to rely on a few cheats in order to make it through safely. So who takes our #1 spot as the real champion of the games? I'm sure you've all figured it out by now. The champion. Cho Sang-woo stands alone at the top. Brainpower is his primary fuel, but what pushes him to the championship is his complete willingness to do whatever it takes to win, even the darkest deeds. He uses his social skills to get information on the Dalgona game ahead of time and secretly picks the easiest shape while keeping the news to himself, and invents the vital move that got his team the win in Tug of War. When the stakes get higher, Sang-woo becomes even more deadly. In Marbles, he notices Ali's weakness in trust and kindness, creating a fake trade that empties Ali's pouch, showing his ruthless tactical thinking. His ability to compartmentalize emotion makes him the perfect Squid Game competitor, able to get his hands dirty without being weighed down by sadness. Even his final act of self-elimination during the ultimate match shows strategic brilliance, recognizing he was likely to lose anyway, so he chooses to end things on his terms while simultaneously completing his character arc and ensuring some help will be given to his family. What truly separates Sang-woo from the rest is his strong balance of intellect, physical strength, and psychological manipulation. Unlike Gi-hun, he never lets sentiment cloud his judgment when survival is on the line. Unlike Il-nam, he has youth and stamina on his side. In the brutal world of Squid Game, this SNU graduate proves that sometimes the coldest heart makes for the most effective player. Although an argument could be made for any of the top 5 to take the winner slot, I think Sang-woo is a solid pick who doesn't overly rely on luck or charisma, strength, or brains, but instead a mix of all of them, granting him an almost clean victory until G-Money, who had got there largely through luck, stopped him for good. So this has been an analysis on who the best player was in Squid Game. Do you agree with our analysis, or did we miss something major? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to see more Squid Game content and theories, click the video on screen now.